So stepping into your power looks like you're either going to align with this apartment or you're going to align with another one. And it's just about allowing it to be easy. I'm just recognizing more and more that I'm already in the receptive mode. You're already in the receptive mode, especially as Jupiter moves into Pisces. This is a great
Mm.
time for you allowing yourself to receive. And you got to really think about your life. You have been in the receptive mode, receiving places to stay. You have been in the receptive mode, receiving a job. You have been in the receptive mode, receiving a new car. But what happens? You receive the new car, and then, oh my goodness, there's something wrong with my car. You're telling yourself the story that you have to struggle. And the only reason that we feel that you're telling yourself the story that you have to struggle is so that other people don't get upset that you're having an easier life. So, who was saying what to you that made you feel ashamed about having an easier life? Does something come to mind?
Like, in what sense?
Like, for example, I love luxury. I love getting what I want. When I was 16 years old, I was planning on I have to get my first car. I deserve a new car. Like I'm getting my car. And I got my car. I obviously have a complicated relationship with my mom. So I had like a drama teacher of mine who was really such a fucking bully. And she basically was just like, you treat your mom so terribly, and your mom does all of these
Mm.
things for you. And she made me feel so ashamed, and she made me feel like such an entitled, spoiled brat. A lot of people have told me that I seem very entitled and like a spoiled brat. So there is this shame that I allow myself to have nice designer bags. I allow myself to have the nicest clothes. I allow myself to get work easily. I wanted a laptop. I manifested some babysitting jobs. I've never applied to work someplace ever in my life. I tried to apply to work at like Starbucks and stuff, but I never followed through, even though I got like callbacks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen for me easily in life. And that upsets
Yes.
people who aren't allowing themselves to have an easier life. And because I want to be loved and accepted by other people, I have been shaming myself and manifesting struggle and manifesting problems when I could have just been having an easier life. It's so easy for me to make money. I get on TikTok, I talk for a couple of seconds, and then the readings come in, and I'm the person who online is like, all right, guys, no more readings tonight. People still coming in. Can I get a reading? Can I get a reading? I might take one more. And then I'm like, okay, guys, that's it for tonight. I might be on tomorrow. I've made maybe like three to 500, maybe 600 bucks in the past 2 days just going live on TikTok. And for the past couple
Mm.
of months, I was telling myself the story that I was struggling financially, trying to figure out how to get in the receptive mode, trying to think that I had to do something different, be something different. No, it's been this easy for me the entire time. Making money has always been easy for me. I just didn't.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, no, definitely. I
yeah.
think I'm kind of like used to like that like hectic like struggle, hustle, like mentality. And I think the first time like I saw that and like was learning that was seeing my mom like constantly getting fired from jobs, like just constantly having to move, Sagittarius energy, like never staying in one place for longer than a second, it seemed like.
Uh
And
huh.
so when I became an adult, it was like, oh, okay, well, this is how adulthood is. Like I'm constantly struggling,
Yes.
but yeah, you're right. Like in the reality of it, it's just like I'm constantly taken care of when I like let myself. Like exactly what you just said, for sure.
Perfect. So, in terms of your affirmation work, it's I'm realizing more and more just how easy I have it. I'm realizing more and more just how easy I have it, and I'm willing to have more than others because there are people who are still struggling. There are people who choose to struggle for their entire lives. And I am now just becoming more and more okay with the fact that the life experience I'm choosing for myself is different than the life experience that somebody else is choosing. I literally am coming into this game. Now I'm talking about me personally. I'm coming into the game at 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, getting ready to align with hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars soon, and I want a life of luxury. I want $1,000 shoes. I want a nice, beautiful apartment. I want to live comfortably, and I am choosing the experience of having an easy life. This year, I want to align with a Cadillac XT5 that I can either pay in full or pay the car note really, really easily. That's the life experience that I'm choosing. I'm not choosing a life of financial struggle. I have been struggling financially for the past 2 years unnecessarily. And
Mhm.
off from my inner being just because I can't be too successful too quickly. I can't allow in too much money too quickly because everybody else has been struggling because people aren't that successful in their early 20s. You've got some ideas surrounding adulthood, like you said, with your mom. So you're now just recognizing it's okay to have an easier life than my parents. It's okay to have
Mhm.
a life than my parents. What you saw your parents experiencing in your childhood, that became your default expectation for what life would be, for what life could be. And you're just now recognizing that you have the desire for a different experience than your parents, and that's okay. It's recognizing it not just on that human level, it's being able to step into that kind of Piscean universal God consciousness, almost a little bit more Jupiterian, Sagittarian, philosophical way of viewing things and looking at it as we are all souls having a human experience. There's a whole bunch of people who are suffering in the world. Nobody has incarnated into a household that their souls, that their inner beings did not choose beforehand. Nobody
Yes.
has come into an experience that they did not want beforehand. So if you know that and you believe that, then you can also recognize that the struggle serves some people. Looking at it in a historical context might be a little bit easier as well. There were souls incarnating before we had refrigerators. There were souls incarnating and wanting to experience life before there was electricity. There were souls incarnating and wanting to experience life, experiencing enslavement. There were souls incarnating and wanting to experience life before we had washers and dryers, etc., etc., etc. Those people have had their own life experiences, and you pinching yourself off from allowing in an easy life of luxury is like you saying, no, I can't have an easy life because my ancestors way back then struggled, because people in the 1800s had a harder life than we're having right here right now. Every
Mhm.
In the history of human beings, everybody on this planet today is having a better life than they were 300 years ago, and that's just technology. Okay,
Mhm.
people might be homeless, but a majority of people, even people who are experiencing homelessness, they have cell phones. That's an easier life than maybe somebody who was experiencing homelessness in the 1910s was having.
Yes, so true.
So it's about recognizing that you can see people in their struggle and you can sympathize with them and you can wish for the best for them. You can wish that they wake up and decide to have an easier life. You can hope and pray that they decide to get healing. You can hope and pray that they get into spirituality. You can hope and pray that one day they recognize that they don't need to struggle, that they don't deserve to struggle, but it is not your job to struggle with them in the name of solidarity. Hell no.
Mhm. Mhm.
It is okay for you to have an easy life. It is okay for things to happen easier for you. That's the life experience that you've chosen. Think about it in this way. Your inner being said, okay, we're going to get down there. It's going to be a little bumpy. It's going to be a little rocky. It's going to be a little bit intense. By the time I hit my Saturn return, by the time I'm in my late 20s, I want things to start turning around though. That's the experience that your soul has chosen. You've chosen to experience going from the journey of codependency to healthy relationships. You've chosen the journey of going from the experience of struggling to thriving. That's the life
Mm.
experience that your soul has chosen. There are some people whose souls haven't chosen that. Yes. And it is a very natural thing. You got to think about it. You're not the only person who has an inner being, right? You're not the only person who has spirit guides. You're not the only person who has guidance. And then at the same time, a lot of people who are struggling aren't in the receptive mode to receive healing. And so
Mm,
there are times when I'm on your journey, I'm sure I've experienced it, where people have been trying to offer you help and you have closed yourself off to it and you've said no. There are times where you're not in the energy to be able to receive that help, to receive that support and that assistance. I qualified for the stimulus check for forever. I'm barely now filing my taxes so I can allow in this stimulus check, because when the stimulus checks were first being announced and stuff, I wasn't in the receptive mode. I wasn't aligned
mm,
and allowing in that money. So it didn't matter that the government was telling me that I could have that money. It did not matter that my inner being was trying to lead me to allowing in more money more easily. I wasn't in the receptive mode. And so it's about recognizing there are some people who just aren't in the receptive mode. I'm not one of those people. I am consciously choosing to allow myself to receive. And there's nothing more that I have to do. There's nothing more that I have to be. The healing work that I choose to do is so that I can enjoy my life even more, not so that I can be worthy and deserving of a better feeling life. Do you feel me on that one?
If you enjoyed this client snippet and would like to get on a call with me one on one, do some coaching, go ahead and click the link in the description or in the bio to see about my current programs and how we can work together. Talk to you soon. Bye.